What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. Today's featured blade is the Reate Torrent. Now, the Torrent is from Reate Knives. Reate is a Chinese company. It's headed up by a man named David Ding. David is a machinist. Reate is pretty much understood to be the premium standard in the market right now as far as the newer high-end Chinese production companies. And those are companies like it's Reate, Weed Knives, Kaiser Knives, those types of companies. Reate is generally understood to be the most premium of those companies. They make a fabulous, fabulous product. Now, this knife is selling right now. I checked on the market. You're looking at $375 new. So by the end of this video, you should be able to determine whether it will be worth that price to you. I think it is a very reasonable price on this knife, and it does, in my opinion, beat out a lot of competition at around that price point and slightly higher. All right. Now, I want to say, first of all, I'm not buying any $375 knives right now. This one is actually a loaner from Love Them Knives. LTK sent me this knife out of the kindness of his heart. I appreciate it, brother. If you guys are not subscribed to Love Them Knives, you need to go right now. Talk about a lot of content, and I mean wide-ranging content, all the way from budget $20 knives up to $500, $600, $700 high-end production and mid-tech knives. I believe every once in a while that he's even rolling some custom stuff through there. So super wide range over at Love Them Knives. All right, let's set this down real quick. We're going to go really fast through the packaging. Reate Knives ship in a heavy-duty, plain white cardboard box. Inside that box, you are going to find the now sort of standard zipper pouch that you find from these the high-end Chinese companies. Inside that pouch, you got a little plastic bag. That's what the knife was in. This is a very premium feeling microfiber drawstring pouch that is branded Reate on it. And then additionally, you will find the now almost standard microfiber cleaning cloth, which is also Reate branded. So very nice as far as what is included with these knives. You see this a lot out of these high-end Chinese production companies. American companies need to be paying more attention to this. All right, let's go over the specs real quick. This is a full-size knife. You're looking at a 3 5/8 inch blade. That's about 92 millimeters. Your blade stock thickness is 157 thousandths of an inch, or 4 millimeters. The blade width, 1.18 inches, or 29.97 millimeters. Handle length, 4 7/8 of an inch, or 12.5 centimeters. Your handle thickness, 521 thousandths of an inch, or 13.24 millimeters. Handle width at the widest at the pivot, 1.28 inches, or 32.5 millimeters. Your closed width, 1.39 inches, or 35.42 millimeters. Overall length, 8.5 inches, or 21.5 centimeters. This knife does not use a standard stop pin. There is no internal stop pin on this. It uses the thumb studs as a stop pin. You can see that in the closed position, you can see these marks. That's where they impact the frame here. And then the repeat of those marks here in the open position, you can see on this part of the frame. And those thumb studs slash stop pins are 315 thousandths of an inch, or 8 millimeters. You will be hard-pressed to find a more substantial stop pin anywhere. Behind the edge thickness on this knife was actually pretty good, considering the 4mm blade stock and that it is a sort of a saber grind. I averaged between 27 thousandths and 30 thousandths of an inch, or about 0.7 millimeters. The handle to blade ratio is a respectable 0.74, and your weight, 5.93 ounces or 168 grams. No, this is not a lightweight knife. It is a substantial, heavy-duty folder, despite its very high-end and upscale appearance. All right, let's look at our materials real quick. For the blade steel, it's Bowler M390. Bowler M390 is an extremely high-end premium stainless blade steel. There are some counterparts on the market you will see with Carpenter's CTS 204P and Latrobe's 20CV, and those are respectfully just basically versions from other companies of this steel. This is a third generation powdered metallurgy steel. You will typically find it hardened to 60 to 62 Rockwell. The carbon content is 1.9%. Chromium content is 20% and a 4% vanadium content. What you get out of this steel is excellent wear resistance, and that is your edge retention, good toughness, and excellent corrosion resistant. It's a very high performing stainless steel. I really like M390, and so do a lot of people. It is considered one of the stainless steels to get in a premium knife. In your handle, you're looking at big, thick titanium slabs here in your handle. In fact, you're pretty much totally titanium here with a titanium pivot, titanium anodized titanium screws. You've got a titanium backspacer, and then you're in a titanium milled pocket clip with a ceramic ball a la Todd Begg. That is one of Mr. Begg's designs that some people use with his blessing. This is a very premium knife in material, and that is matched with fit and finish. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I have owned a couple of Reate knives. One was a more base model around the $200 price point, and that was a District 9B Tanto folder. And then the other one was more premium, and that was a Horizon D carbon fiber model. I've handled probably 20 Reate folders over the last couple of years. I have never seen the first defect of any type on a Reate folder. Whether it is their quality of machining or the quality of their QC, you just do not see issues with Reate folders. They are very, very well made. As far as a fit and finish on this one, the blade grinds, excellent, guys, excellent. Even from side to side, you're even in your plunge. As far as the swedge goes, it is even. Your blade finish is vertical grind satin for the primary grind and swedge, and sort of horizontal hand satin on the flats. You've got a nice usable tip right here. Yeah, it pierces instantly with no pressure at all, guys. And of course, you've got these big old blade stop / thumb studs here. They're built like a tank. And then you've got a short section of very flat topped, not very useful jimping, guys. There's just yeah, not much there at all, guys. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I would have liked to have seen a little more aggressive jimping on that. You do have an excellent big sharpening choil, in fact big enough to where with just the forward part of your finger, you could use that as a forward choil. It most definitely gets out in front of the plunge grind, so you've got no flare or funny business going on at the termination of the edge grind here. Now, as far as that edge grind goes, you can see right here it is a very even from tip to termination, this knife is very sharp. Very, very good work on the blade itself, guys. As far as the handle goes, it's a work of art. The machining on it is so very clean. The finish is so very clean. The small parts are immaculately finished and anodized. It is just really, guys, there is so much going on here. I'll try to go through it real quick and catch all the highlights. You're in slabs of titanium that are flat slabs that are 3D machined around the edge. You go from sort of a flat facet up here, come across the center of the handle. You can see where that changes from a flat faceting to a radius faceting here, and just rolls that flatness right into the back here, into the back spacer. You've got a flat section here machined. It's some detail in there for the lanyard hole. On the flat of the scale, you've got this fine milling pattern here that gives you a great amount of texture that is fairly soft. It does add to the grip a little bit. It's not like throwing some sandpaper on there, but it does add a little bit. I think it's more aesthetic than it is functional. All right. Of course, up here on your pivot, as typical with Reate, you've got a big wide pivot collar here with an anodized central Torx head screw. The inside edge of the handle scales, you can see it does have a very nice chamfer that goes around it. Very well done. We'll go to this back spacer. This back spacer is titanium. Now, this was fully anodized, this light sort of baby blue that you see, and then this outside edge, this flat, was machined off, leaving the anodization in these dimples, these ball mill dimples here. And then along the side, now it is not perfectly flat and flush with the scales. There is a chamfer that is cut on both the inside of the scale and the outside edge of this back spacer, giving you sort of a V channel that runs down both sides. It's very attractive, guys. It's for something that is so simple, basically a flat chamfer going down through there, it adds a lot of visual impact and premium look to this knife. I'm going to go on to the back here. Again, you're looking at anodized titanium hardware. You've got your pivot collar up here. So it's basically the same as the face side. Then you've got this milled titanium pocket clip with a ceramic ball here for your clamping your contact point. And that is a Todd Begg design feature. Todd is a custom knife maker, and he has worked in conjunction with David Ding. And he does allow people to use this design feature. Now, I don't know if he would allow me to use it, but, you know, if you are up on the high end and you can represent his design feature in the right way, then I believe he is pretty free with that amongst the community, and that's a fantastic thing about that community. But it's an excellent pocket clip, guys. It is fairly thin and has nice flex and spring to it. And it's fairly deep carry too. You're going to have, I don't know, maybe a ½ an inch from the pocket clip here to the butt end of the knife. All this hardware that is anodized baby blue is all the same exact color. It looks fabulous, guys. All the same exact color. This is a very, very premium looking knife. Absolutely no issues with the fit and finish on this knife anywhere. All right, action-wise, something that Reate Knives is famous for. These knives are on a ceramic ball-bearing pivot. They use a ceramic detent. The detents on these knives are always firm and very active. These detents store a lot of energy before they break loose, and you just get very firm, very fast. action. You can hear that thing when it hits. It is, I wish you could feel it in the hand, guys. It is just smacking those thumb stud / stop pins into that frame. It is opening very hard with minimal effort. As far as the centering, every Reate I've ever seen was perfectly centered. As far as lockup, everyone I've ever seen has had pretty much perfect lockup, guys. You're looking at about 30% on this model. It is extremely solid in every direction. This is one of those knives that you don't have even the slightest feel of any play in at all. This is the type of knife people talk about when they say bank vault type lockup. So your centering is just as premium as the fit and finish. And those are the aspects that Reate Knives is so well known for and so highly respected for. They are just a super premium product. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Reate Knives, to me, are the Chinese version of an American Chris Reeve knife. CRK knives in America. They are so well known for their manufacturing, fit and finish, action, quality. That is the level that Reate Knives is at. They are the Chris Reeve knives of China. That's just all there is to it, guys. I think that they should be held in the same high regard as that type of knife. In my opinion, everything that I've ever seen out of them, which is whether it's on their lower end or on their upper end, has just been super premium in every way. All right, let's talk about ergos here. It's a pretty basic handle design. It is not restrictive in any way. It's not too compact. It's not too big. 4 7/8 of an inch. It'll fit my medium hands. It's great in. It would be great for large hands or extra large hands. But it's not so big that, you know, smaller size hands would get lost on it. It is not super wide. And it is not super thick. It's hovering right around the 1/2 inch handle thickness mark at, what was it, 521 thousandths of an inch. So ergonomically, the handle's pretty wide open, guys. Everything, this sort of forward choil section here, your section of jimping, to me is just natural as I go straight into my grip. Everything just falls. This feels like it was designed for the human hand, not designed to look good, and then the ergonomics were secondary. I think that in this design, the ergonomics were primary concern, and then within the ergonomic strictures, then they did the design work for the aesthetic appeal. Excellent handle design, guys. It works in multiple grips, no issues there. Just fantastic. As far as the blade goes, you've got sort of a harpoonish type clipped, not really a drop point. It's a flat clip with a harpoon here, but and the harpoon is not over pronounced. It's fairly subtle. It's attractive. I think this knife would be fantastic for piercing. In fact, I know it would be fantastic for piercing. It is a good cutting blade, although I would not consider it to be a super slicer. It does not have that super thin edge geometry due to the stock thickness and just the saber grind, guys. If this was fully a flat ground, it would be a little bit better. Probably get the edge geometry down around 23 or 25 thousandths of an inch instead of the 27 to 30 thousandths. It's a very substantial feeling blade grind, very strong feeling. 4 millimeter stock, guys. Look at this tip thickness here. All right, that is not a delicate little tip, even though it instantly, guys, no pressure at all, it catches. Partly because of the excellent profile, and partly because of the excellent job they did sharpening it. So, you got everything that you need in a blade. You've got good piercing. You've got a good amount of belly here for belly type work. You've got a decent amount of flat straight edge here. You do have this large sharpening choil / forward choil that, although I don't think that it's quite big enough to get, big fingers in, on my medium-sized hand, I think that I'm pretty safe with it, guys. I could do some detailed cutting work with this. No problem at all. I'm having a lot of problems with the focus on the camera today. I apologize for that, guys. I don't know if it's the new background or not. But, as far as ergonomics, as far as the cutting ability, you're good to go there. Now, the one thing that I will say about this knife, as refined as it looks and feels, and as good as the action is on it, all of which are super premium, no doubts about that. This is sort of a chunky and heavy knife. You are looking at almost 6 ounces in weight. Now, if you want to look down inside the handle here, you can see that it is fully machined out and weight relieved, okay? Front and backs, not scales, but framed, are weight relieved, and it is still nearly 6 ounces. This knife would have been probably 7 or 7.2 ounces if it hadn't have been milled out. It is chunky in the weight. It is chunky in the blade stock thickness. The handle thickness, although not real big, at 521 thousandths of an inch, it is still slightly over a ½ an inch thick. And to some people, that's chunky, for lack of a better term. So you have to keep that in mind. If you are the type of person that wants a very premium, heavy-duty tie frame lock folder, this is a very, very good option. I think at $375 new, it is, for its materials, features, and build quality, it is an excellent deal. If you are the type of person that typically wants to carry a little lightweight, sort of Spyderco-ish type of knife, you may not like this knife. You will appreciate it for what it is and its premium qualities, but you will probably find it a little bit heavy and a little bit chunky, and maybe not the thin-edged slicer that you prefer. That doesn't make it good or bad. It's neither here nor there. It is just what it is. For me, I like chunkier types of knives. I love this knife. I would probably buy this knife. No issues there. And can I recommend it? Yes, for what it is a fantastic knife. It's a fantastic design. Reate build quality, material quality, premium extra features like the pouch and the microfiber pouch and the microfiber cleaning cloth and blah, blah, blah that comes with it. It's a great little package, especially at that price point. And yes, I can recommend it, guys. All right. So, once again, I thank you for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you. Thank you, LTK, for the loan of this knife. And we will talk to you guys again.